How's it going, folks? My name is Sinikle, and welcome back to Higurashi, When They Cry. So, last episode was quite a doozy. It was a long one, I apologize. I just could not find a perfect place to end it. But we did kind of, sort of, leave off in the middle of something. I guess a cliffhanger? No, not really a cliffhanger. Anyways, but yeah, if you haven't watched that video yet, I would advise you to do so. Quite a few things have happened, and but if you're just jumping in on this video here and you haven't watched all the previous videos leading up to this here, then playlist link is in the description box down below, so go ahead and check that out. And without further ado, let's go ahead and just jump right on in. Shall we continue the story? Yes. Yes. Scream his name. The hands that were holding Rika left her shoulders. They left ever so gently. And as soon as they did, they transformed into a pair of furious fists, which implanted themselves in the faces of the men attacking him from behind. They flew right through the air. Akasaka hit those two without even turning around. No. 5 members of the mountain dogs surrounded Akasaka. However, he didn't even see them. He could only feel the deep emotion of finally being able to do what he had been longing to. And the 5 of them sensed it. That maybe, just maybe, he didn't even care that they were there. You're all dead. You're all dead to me. I can take all 5 of you at once. Come on, baby. What? Not in that way. Whoa, 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 whoa. Not in that way. On Okanogi's signal, the 5 mountain dogs bore down on Akasaka. Rika-chan wa fusete. Rika dropped to the ground, and Akasaka was left standing. Furious kicks. Akasaka, who came back to keep the promise he made with the girl 5 years ago. But his promise was worth more than 5 years. Rika knew that. Akasaka probably understood it too. The promise went back 100 years. All those many, many worlds. Or fragments, whatever. For 100 years, he regretted not being able to save her from the conspiracy. He believed that one day there would be a miracle, and he could travel back to this day. That was why he continued to train himself. His strong will and Rika's wish made that miracle happen. That one and only miracle allowed Akasaka to be here in Hinamizawa in June 1983. The first one went down in the time it took Okanogi to blink. Lowering himself to grapple Akasaka had proved fatal. He wasn't so soft as to let such perfect openings go by. Akasaka's hand smashed into the back of the man's head. Ouch. His blow was powerful enough to smash a pillar of ice and shatter a mountain of tiles. Give me a break, man. Mountain of tiles. As it happened, Akasaka was holding back a little, so that his target wasn't too injured. I don't know what to say about that, but what the fuck is his voice? Who's doing this voiceover? Wait, wait, what? Excuse me? Okay. Huh. I don't know what to feel about that. Anyways, Akasaka's well-trained fists continued to knock down the mountain dogs one by one. 1 hit per opponent was all Akasaka needed. This was the true essence of karate. Akasaka's colleagues praised and feared his power. Oh shit. Fucking blinding my eyes, thank you very much. Weapons were useless against him. No matter how hard his victim tried to protect himself, it meant nothing to Akasaka. But he was too strong for the mountain dogs to even understand that. It was as if he was a giant that they had to crane their necks up to see. Asaka didn't even give them the time to think. Someone from the mountain dogs must have called for backup. Ooh, goody. About a dozen more members had arrived.
大丈夫だ、リカちゃん。私がここにいる限り、君には指一本触れさせない。
No touching allowed.
僕はお絵かきして待ってますです。
Okay. As Rika stayed low to the ground, she picked up a stick and started to carve into the dirt. Oh, well then, okay. As long as it keeps you busy. That made Okanogi even angry. Angrier? Angrier. He's angry. But he calmed himself down. Then the warrior's intuition, resting in Okanogi's blood, came to a realization. Numbers didn't matter. Even the full force of the mountain dogs wouldn't be able to defeat this monster. All the combat units were still down in the basement. There was no way they could take him. At least just laughing about it. Alright. Oh, just you alone there, buddy? I mean, okay. Let's go.
それに、お前の顔、思い出したぜ。
Oh?
こいつは懐かしい顔だ。
Yes, we did meet quite a few times. Although you don't remember those other times, just as one instance.
たくましくなったじゃねえか。
貴様、まさか。
標準語じゃ思い出せねえか。なら鉛で話してやるぜ。すったら懐かしか。あん時の青二歳がよくもここまで立派になったもんよ。
It had been 5 years. This was the man Akasaka fought when he was investigating the kidnapping of the minister's grandson. Akasaka had still been inexperienced then.
あん時は手加減せん指示だったん。サービスもしたらった。だがな、今日はそういうわけにはいかんねえ。へへへ。あの樽男も助けに来ねえぞ。
Hey, he has a name!
しかし、この5年でだいぶ鍛えよったんな。俺は嬉しいんで。俺はこういうのを期待しとったんよ。この5年間な。お前ら手を出すな。俺の獲物だ。
Okanogi took all of his equipment and threw it to the ground. He loosened one button and then positioned himself. Seeing that, Akasaka realized he was somewhat capable and narrowed his eyes in vigilance. Okanogi took that as an insult. But Akasaka only thought he was somewhat capable. His behavior was telling Okanogi that he viewed him on the same level as the other small fry. Akasaka first moved to take up his stance and avoid getting Rika involved. Akasaka didn't even move one bit until just then. Okanogi could easily see that Akasaka was extremely strong. But at the same time, he thought he would be fairly simple to take down. Karate may be a martial art, but nowadays it was just a sport. The army combat Okanogi trained in was completely different. Obviously, Akasaka had studied a lot, but it's all just child's play. All he learned were routine moves and forms. Besides, karate moves are fairly straightforward. Okunogi was confident that he could fight any karate pro and win. Okunogi started leaning into his toes and using his meticulous footwork. In contrast, Akasaka still hadn't moved from his back stance. Akasaka was acting as if Okunogi's footwork was simply a trick, which infuriated Okunogi. Okunogi moved fiercely and nimbly, in a manner completely different from how Akasaka was moving earlier. Akasaka remained calm, but Okunogi saw it differently. He can't react to his movements, so he's prepared to take damage in order to deal more. Akasaka couldn't defend himself from Okunogi's quick jab, and it connected with his face. It was a quick but light attack. Its purpose was to distract Akasaka and create an opening for Okunogi. Okunogi knew that Akasaka would use his arms to guard his face instinctively. Okunogi's real purpose was to attack his abdomen, which would then be unguarded. Of course, Akasaka didn't have enough time to guard himself. It took more than just quick kinetic vision to prevent his attack. Only Okunogi, who trained for many years, had perfected the speed of that technique. Normal people would struggle helplessly while vomiting if they were to experience Okunogi's kick. It could even rupture internal organs. So it was pretty amazing that Akasaka was still on his feet.
どうした空手や。相手も同じ流派じゃないと戦えないってのか？
軽い。
何？
Akasaka mumbled something, but Okunogi couldn't hear. Actually, he did hear it. But Okunogi never imagined he could say such a thing in this situation, so he couldn't hear it. He couldn't comprehend it.
軽い。
なんだと？
貴様の一撃は相手を打ち倒すことしか考えていない。だから重さが宿らない。
は？何をバカなこと言ってやがる。
空手は心を養う。人を打つということは自らも打たれることを知るということだ。自らの一撃が相手に何を及ぼすか、どれだけの痛みや悲しみを与えるかを知ったとき、人は打つ意味と打たれる意味を知るのだ。だからそれに至らない貴様の一撃には重みが宿らない。
それは俺が未熟だということか。
Okunogi attacked Akasaka again, but this time, Akasaka was different. Akasaka blocked Okunogi's fists and legs. Of course, Okunogi was still the only one attacking, but Akasaka had started to become much more aggressive. Now, as Okunogi attacked, his hands and legs were being injured. Okunogi instinctively sensed that he was in trouble. He'd thought Akasaka was just a police officer, but his movements were too dangerous. He was merciless. He was dangerous. So Akasaka's training and experience must far surpass Okunogi's. Wait, that dynamic heel kick isn't karate, is it? Akasaka's heel kick missed Okunogi's head by a millimeter.
てめえ、空手以外にもやってやがるな。
いいや、私は空手しかやっていない。
嘘つくんじゃねえ。さっきから明らかに空手じゃ見たことねえ技が目立つぞ。
Okunogi was starting to become impatient. The reason Okunogi ridiculed martial arts as sports was because they were all hard-headed and only used set moves. This is how you strike in karate. This is how you punch in boxing. This is how you throw in judo. It's easy to learn, and that's why it's easy to win. But Akasaka was different. He said that he only did karate, and he must have spent unthinkable hours training. Yet he was flexible enough not to be confined only by formatted moves. That was understanding at a spiritual level. The spirit of martial arts isn't just forms. One simply learns forms to reach that spiritual level. Therefore, for one who has reached it, there are no forms. What Akasaka had was a philosophical spirit.
貴様の未熟さには落胆した。
くそー。
Akasaka stepped away from his original spot for the first time. He moved forward. He filled the space between Okanogi and himself with his inescapable conviction. As Akasaka walked closer to Okanogi, Bro, saying these two motherfucking names over and over with each fucking sentence is throwing me off, and it's pissing me off. Motherfucker. I keep wanting to say Asaka now. I don't know why. Akasaka. Akasaka's assault radius tried to swallow him whole. Whoa, giggity. To be within that radius meant death. Oh my god. See? Every fucking sentence, man. Okanogi walked backwards to avoid being in that radius. That was the result of his clear-headed judgment, not because he was scared.
人を撃つ意味のわからない貴様に本当の重さというものを教えてやる。
As Okanogi moved backwards, his back hit the van he came in earlier. Whoops. He was cornered. Oh, well, sucks to be you. Having your back to a wall didn't mean you were at a disadvantage, but the more it was pressed against the wall, the further a disadvantage it became. That's kind of counterintuitive, but well, whatever. If Okanogi let Akasaka come a little closer, Okanogi wouldn't even be able to take a combat stance. Okanogi decided it immediately. The last chance he had was the moment before Akasaka took his next step. Akasaka's foot left the ground. He was taking another step. Now! No tricks, no feints. Okanogi lowered himself and attacked with everything he had. The attack was powerful enough to break Akasaka's ribcage and rupture his heart. Excuse me, what? Holy shit. I'm a professional, Okanogi told himself. I can't be defeated by this amateur. No one cares but you. Yeah, see? Oh shit. At that moment, oh my god, Jesus Christ. Jump scared me. At that moment, Akasaka's eyes opened wide. Oh shit. Alright. Nice. Oh shit! All the mountain dogs heard a noise. It wasn't the noise of people fighting. It was the noise of a traffic accident. What? Excuse me? Okanogi's blow missed by a slight amount, and Akasaka's fist struck inches away from Okanogi's face. There was a dent in the sliding door of the van. The windows on both sides had shattered, and it looked like the van was in an accident. Was it even possible for a human fist to do this? Time resumed its flow, and Okanogi knelt down. falling to the ground. Akasaka didn't miss on purpose. Akasaka couldn't control his fist because he put everything into one blow. Okanogi should thank Akasaka. Thank your master now, bitch. Okay. Yes, Poppy. Anyway. If Akasaka had been able to control his attack power, Okanogi's face would have ended up like the van. I would pay to see that. However, although it didn't hit Okanogi's face, it shattered his spirit.
Akasaka! Pachi 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 pachi!
Rika applauded. But in this situation, it didn't sound like applause. It almost sounded like Asaka's fighting spirit was popping like firecrackers. Akasaka pulled back his fist, turned around calmly, and then spoke.
次だ。
Oh shit.
面倒だから一度に来い。
They knew. Everyone knew that there was no way to defeat Akasaka with their bare hands. They realized that they needed weapons. They also needed more people. There should be a better equipped unit in the basement. Where are they exactly? Huh? Surely they would have heard the commotion or something, right? Well, whatever. All of a sudden, things began to move quickly. The remaining mountain dogs emerged from the basement. Oh, well, okay, there we go. That answers that question, huh?
地上での発砲は許可されていない。繰り返す。地上での発砲は不可。大鳥1、R を回収して退却許可を。
But the mountain dogs, who just witnessed Akasaka's battle against Okanogi, realized it was time for them to run. They didn't even care about Rika. Who would even think of taking Rika from him after seeing what Akasaka was capable of doing? When Okanogi regained his awareness, he jumped onto a van, what? With a mountain dogs as it drove away. Huh? Okay. Since Okanogi took off his intercom device to fight with Akasaka, he had no idea what had transpired in the basement. Oh, so we're now seeing that. Okay, cool. After the mountain dogs broke their promise with Rika, they were supposed to round up the remaining club members. But when Akasaka showed up, the dogs had to be divided into the ground force and the basement force, which altered the situation. Kasai had gone on a counterattack. Oh shit, so he was still conscious up there, huh? And the other club members somehow climbed up the well and helped him. Cool. Alright, cool. Nice. Since the mountain dogs weren't allowed to fire on the surface, they realized it would make the situation worse if Kasai fired his guns once he came up after them. Okanogi was unreachable, so Nightingale 1 had ordered the retreat in his place. Who would bear the responsibility for this? If it was possible Okanogi's fault. It was possible... I can't speak now, I don't know why. It was probably Okanogi's fault for taking off his intercom device to fight against Akasaka. Probably because I have to keep saying these two fucking names, which is really throwing me off every time I have to fucking speak. Anyways. As he basically abandoned his job as a commander. But everything happened in the first place because Akasaka showed up. So maybe it was his triumph, rather than Okanogi's blunder. Either way, everything was miraculous. But the mountain dogs hadn't run with their tails between their legs. They had simply retreated for the moment. When they returned, they would have enough men and enough arms ready to kill all who stand in their way. And that would happen very soon. There was no time to waste.
リカ、無事でよかったのです。なんとかね。奇跡のおかげで。奇跡じゃありませんです。みんなで力を合わせたから、その中の一人の赤坂が助けに来てくれただけのことなのですよ。ああ。
そうね。この程度で奇跡じゃ
もったいないわね。さあ、今度はこっちが打って出る番なのです。
Oh shit, alright. Now it's our turn to attack. In the basement, the club members were talking about their grand counterattack. Rika was a little disappointed that she couldn't have joined them, but she was happy that Akasaka told her what she had been wanting to hear. Rika told them about how heroic he had been, and he got a little embarrassed. Kasai was doing alright, but Shion wasn't doing too well. Of course, it wasn't life-threatening, but she couldn't hear well in her left ear, possibly due to being so close to an explosion. Yikes. To test her hearing, Mion went around to Shion's left side and whispered some dirty words. She seemed to be able to hear them fairly well. Well, just because one isn't working, the other one... the other one's working perfectly fine, hello? Of course, she might have been hearing through her right ear, though, exactly. Just because one doesn't work doesn't mean the other side doesn't. Come on, hello? Shion decided to lie down on a tatami mattress in the torture room. Why would a torture room have a... You know what? Who cares? Logic is... It is thrown out the window a long time ago. While Eri kept an eye on her. Mion was never worried, but Shion told her that she was okay. Wait, what? No, I read that wrong. Excuse me. Mion was very worried, but Shion told her that she was okay, and forced her to go ahead with the next operation. Mion complained that Shion didn't understand her feelings. Screw your feelings, we got bigger issues to do. Do what? To worry about? Yeah, there we go. Now they would have to come up with an idea to rescue Tamatake from the clinic. They had Akasaka and Kasai on their side, both of whom were used to battles. Also, they had Eri, who knew about the secret basement of the clinic. They would have to get moving quickly, but they had to at least have a plan. True. It was almost 10:30 a.m. Because of what they had gone through, they were exhausted, and it felt like it was almost evening. But if they were at school, it would be only the second or third period. They had to pull themselves together. They had to regain their fighting spirit. Fight on! Eri checked Shion's left ear with a flashlight penlight.
耳鼻科の先生でないとわかりませんが、運が悪ければ鼓膜が破れている可能性もあります。
I mean, yeah.
頭痛やめまいはありますか？
いいえ。
No concussion,
全
alright.
然へっちゃらです。
Shouldn't be too serious then. Eri wet his handkerchief and wiped Shion's face gently. Ooh, Prince Charming.
驚いてます？Hinamizawaファイターズのマネージャーに銃撃戦ができて。
ええ、驚いています。あなたが死ぬ気だったとは。前原さんに聞きましたよ。
うわ、ああいう言葉ってその場ではかっこいいけど、生き残っちゃうとめちゃくちゃ恥ずかしいですね。やだな。
If something happens to you and I live, my sister will never forgive me for that. I don't have my loved ones anymore, but sis does. That's what she said earlier.
なしです。あなたの思い人というのは、サトシ君のことですね。
Yes?
さあ、どうでしょうね。
Oh, shut up.
今頃どこにいるやら。生きてるのか死んでるのかもわかりませんけど。
生きています。
え？
Shion's thoughts stopped in her tracks when Eri answered immediately.
北条サトシ君は生きています。 彼は去年のあの日、不幸な心労がたたり、末期の発症を迎えてしまったんです。
Mion and the other club members had already told Shion about the current situation, so she kind of understood what he meant.
私は、さとこちゃんと同じ薬で治療できると思いました。ですが、さとこちゃんが治療できたのは、極めて幸運なケースだったようで、サトシ君の治療は困難を極めました。そしてその治療は、今も続いているのです。
サトシ君、生きてるの？
今まで、話せなくてすみません。サトシ君は、視覚核にいます。
Shion and Eri returned from the torture room. Shion looked very serious, as if she had gained the determination to fight. Keiichi and the others were just talking about how the enemy found where they were.
入江先生の着衣に発信機か何かがつけられていることは考えられませんか？
Damn, bro, how did you know?
先生の私服ではなく、診療所で持たされるものや着せられるものにです。
だとすると、この白衣くらいですが。
Not the coat!
監督、ちょっとボディチェックします。
Yes, ma'am. Shion checked Eri over like an inspector at an airport. Then she found a little button on the back side of his collar. It was a little round button. There was no reason why a button like this would be on the back of his collar.
こいつが発信機でしょう。
Smash it.
連中はこいつを信頼してるから、直接尾行しなくてもここを突き止められたんです。やられたわ。となりゃ、このボタンがある限り、陽動作戦が可能になるってことだね。
Oh yeah, that too.
ボタンを持ったおとり隊が敵をおびき寄せ、その隙に手薄の診療所を襲い、富武さんを助け出す。
Hell yeah, let's go!
それが最善でしょう。
となれば、そのおとり隊が陽動するには、私の裏山が一番でございますわね。
そうだな。あそこなら敵を引っ張り回せるぜ。しかもあれだけの山だからな。敵も相当の手勢を集めるだろう。その分、診療所がガラ空きになる。
読み切れないのは、どの程度敵が診療所に残るかだ。診療所には、敵にとっても重要な富武氏がいる。相応の守備を残すだろ
となれば、富武より美味しい餌をおとりと一緒にするのがいいのです。大丈夫ですか、リカ？はいです。みんなと一緒でサトコの裏山なら絶対に捕まりませんです。裏山に精通してるのはこの中では部活メンバーだけだね。おとりは部活メンバーが引き受けるといいかもしれない。そうだね。その間に大人部隊は診療所を奇襲。翔さんは大丈夫？
赤坂さんのお目こぼしがあれば、警察の方と聞いておりますので。
Cause I spoke while loading his shotgun. He has a shotgun! God damn.
今はオフですので。
Akasaka replied while checking an automatic pistol. He hadn't used this particular gun before, but he was used to handling guns. I mean, you kinda have to if you're a police officer, just saying. Anyways, he was prepared to fire too. Eri tried to memorize how to remove the safety, but he looked nervous. Aw.
赤坂さんは機関銃の経験は？
あり
You
ません。
usually find on the side of the gun there, buddy.
拳銃だけです。
では慣れたものがよろしいでしょう。弾倉は十分に。 玉詰まりに備え、同じ銃をもう一丁。
葛西さんはこれはショットガンですか？
奇数発目はスラッグ弾です。面制圧も壁抜きもできます。
おお、散弾銃の立つって通り名は聞いてたけど、本当にショットガン使いなんですね。
Hell yeah!
散弾銃は恐ろしい武器です。
At close range, yeah.
ですから相手に当てずとも降伏させることもできます。あと皆さん、防弾ベストがありますので着てください。
Kasai sounded very dependable. I mean, of course he is. But at the same time, he reminded everyone that this operation would be a very dangerous one. It wasn't a simple fist fight. Even a veteran soldier can die in a gun battle. There is always a chance of death, regardless of how well trained you are. In fact, Kasai and Akasaka were the only people who could be depended on. Kasai talked Eri out of carrying a gun because it might be dangerous for him to have one. True. Someone could get injured by friendly fire, and we don't want that. Mion suggested that maybe there should be more people on the team, but both Kasai and Akasaka refused because those who couldn't even handle guns at all might end up as dead weight.
なら、私が行くしかないですね。
True, she can handle one.
第一、火力が足りなさすぎです。
Mm-hmm.
ファイヤーサポートに私がイングラムでも持ってきましょう。
でもシオン、お前耳大丈夫なのかよ？
ええ、もう治っちゃいました。ケロッとね。ご心配かけてすみませんでした。シオン、今私が何て言ったか聞いてた？え？あ、あはは、嫌だな。聞こえてましたよ。
Uh-huh. Mion had tricked her. Mion didn't say anything. Shion still couldn't hear out of her left ear.
シオン、危険だよ。正直に言って、おとりに混じるのも危険だと思ってる。シオンはどこかに身を隠してて。おねえ、聞いて。私、どうしても診療所に行かなければならない用事ができたの。でも、それを今話したら、里子まで来ると言い出す。それはダメ。こっちは室内戦、向こうも撃ってくる。それって。
Mion sensed it. He sensed the reason why Shion had to go to the clinic. That was why she didn't say anything more. If she was in Shion's position, she would go even if neither of her ears could hear. Oh my gosh, she was fully deaf!
考え直してくださいまし。サトコ、シオンは救出隊に回る。サトコはおとり隊のエースなんだよ。自分の仕事に専念して。しーちゃん。レナさんならわかるよね。私が死ぬ気じゃないってこともね。うん、わかってる。こういう時の女の子ってね、絶対に死なない。ですよね。
Sorry.
殺されたって死ぬもんか。
Shion and Rena gave each other a high five.
決まったようですね。では、もう動き始めましょうです。
Hell yeah.
C、ボタンをこっちで預かるです。はい、これ。頑張ってね、リカちゃま。C も頑張って。C が強く強く信じてきた奇跡だから、今この瞬間に叶うのです。だから、きっとこれは C のために神様が微笑んでくれたチャンスなのです。信じなかった日もあった気がする。それを誰かに諭された日もあった気がする。 信じ続けるって大変なことだよね。でもあなたは信じ続けました。信じなかったことを悔い信じました。だから訪れた今日をどうか大切に。今日を呼び寄せたあなたの強い意志の前に、目の前の苦難はもはや苦難ではない。あんた、お姉の新しい友達ですか？名前は知らないけど、ありがとう。うまくいきそうな気がします。
うまくいきますですよ。お社様のお墨付きなのです。
What a beautiful moment. And a quick transition. Alright. Well, that calls that, doesn't it? We're going to go ahead and save over that save there. Alright. And we're going to go back to the main screen because that's the end of this video here. Thank you all so much for joining in on this video here. Quite a biggie. Kind of, sort of. Got some plans, got some rescuing to do. We learned some bits of info, which I do remember a little bit of the anime. To be honest, I completely forgot that he was still alive. I'm gonna be for real, I forgot he was alive. But he's in some sort of, like, induced coma while they treat him or something like that, right? Something like that. I don't know the details, but whatever. But yeah, that guy's still alive. Shion's beloved. Pretty cool stuff. We should probably be seeing that in the next video or two. So yeah, stick around for that. If you did enjoy, please leave a like, share the video, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, because there will be more Higurashi coming up soon. So stay tuned for that. Look forward to it. I'll see you all next time. Alright. See you then. Bye-bye.